2022 saw a huge rise in the popularity of speed cubing. So many people had been practicing like crazy during the lockdown, and with competitions around the world opening up again, this year saw many new people coming up in the rankings, and also some old faces continuing to show their dominance. In the past year, we have seen some truly unbelievable cubing moments, including one moment in particular that might be the greatest in cubing history. Here are my picks for the top 5 cubing moments of 2022. Number 5. Guanbo Wang's 2x2 world record single. For the past 6 years, 0.49 has become a legendary number in speed cubing. Mathieu's 2x2 world record single he got back in 2016 stood for 2,443 days and became the longest standing record in all of cubing. That was until November 26, 2022, when a not as easy 4-move scramble generated in a competition in Australia. Luckily, Chinese competitor Guanbo Wang was in the group. Guanbo is world class at 2x2, he's top 30 in the world for average. However, he wasn't that well known in the community, so when his time of 0.47 came up on WCA Live, most people were hesitant to believe it. But then, the now iconic video of the solve was released. After almost 7 years, the longest record in cubing has finally been broken. And ignoring the fact that he DNF'd the average, Guanbo very much deserved this record. Number 4. Zayn Khanani at the North American Championships 2022. Zayn Khanani has already proven himself to be by far the best at 2x2. But less people may know that he also holds the skew world record average. However, second place was very close behind, and he had been just out of reach of Andrew Huan's 0.93 world record single, despite being very capable of breaking it. Going into NAC 2022, it seems as though his main focus was to prove to the world that he is indisputably the best at skew. During the first round of the event, this happened.
Yeah! Let's go!
Zayn gets a 0.81, destroying the previous world record. The reaction was amazing, and rightfully so. Later in the day, it was time for scoop finals, and Zayn was by far the favourite to win. A low 2 and a 4 was not the best start to the average. But then, Zayn gets a 1.41 on the third solve and a 1.38 on the fourth. At this point, first place is basically guaranteed. However, if he gets a time of 2.11 or less, he breaks his own world record average again. But then, this happened. Zayn improves the world record average down to 1.73. The fact that both records were caught on the official livestream makes them so much more memorable. 2 months later, Zayn improved the world record average again to an incredible 1.56, solidifying his dominance in the event. For now, anyway. Number 3. Square One records at the Northeast Championships 2022. We have seen many great Square One solvers this year, intensely battling it out to get a world record. However, there has been one main goal in everyone's mind: the sub 6 average. The main candidates to break the barrier are Samir Agrawal, the current record holder with a 6.106 average, and Max Shaw, who in the past actually got a sub 6 average disqualified because of missed scrambles. But on the 29th of May, things took an absolutely incredible turn. In the second Square One round of Northeast Champs, Max Shaw went on fire. Max gets a world record average of 5.82. He has finally broken the 6-second barrier, and this time there are no missed scrambles. The moment he has dreamt about for months finally happened. However, he wasn't done there. In the next round, Max has a counting 5.23 and 4.97 going into the final solve. All he needs is a 7.24 or less to further improve the world record. But Max had other ideas.
Yes! Good job, man.
Max Shaw got an average of 5.02, which is over a second faster than the world record before the competition, making it the largest drop in almost a decade. And if that's not crazy enough, Samir got an average of 5.59 in the same round, which would have been world record had Max not gone into God mode. Needless to say, this has been an insane comp for Square One, but it's still not done there. In the final round, Max gets his third sub 6 average in a row, however not world record. But then Samuel Fang, aka Cubemaster, and Benjamin Gottschalk get a 4.45 single on the same scramble, giving them both a North American record. But then on Samir Agrawal's final solve, this happened. Samir gets a 4.37 single, just barely breaking David Epstein's world record. This also unfortunately took away Samuel and Benjamin's and ours. Samir ultimately won the competition with an average of 5.43, which also would have been world record earlier that day. Understandably, this competition got the whole community so hyped and is without a doubt the craziest competition in Square 1 history. Number 2. Max Park's sub 1 6x6 solve. Max Park is the king of big cubes. From 4x4 to 7x7, he has been sitting comfortably at the top of the rankings, with a total of 53 big cube world records under his belt. However, when Kieran Behan came seconds away from both the 6x6 single and mean records, Max started to practice 6x6 like crazy. He improved so much to the point where he was averaging faster than the world record single. Within 2 weeks of Kieran's WR2s, Max announced on his Instagram that he got the first ever 6x6 solve under 1 minute. This absolutely shocked the whole community. Prior to this announcement, it wasn't even certain that the sub-minute was possible. This got people discussing on whether or not the minute barrier will be broken at an official competition after all. However, just 1 week later, at the Southeast Championships, Max yet again does what he does best, proving that the impossible is possible. Max Park gets a 59.74 world record single. It's hard to describe how unbelievable this solve is. Earlier in the same month, the sub-minute barrier was barely even a talking point, and Max just made it look easy. During the same mean of 3, he also improves the mean world record to a time of 1 minute 9.23, which is lower than the previous single record. Currently, Max has pulled away to a ridiculous 12-second gap for single and an 8-second gap for mean, basically solidifying himself as untouchable in the event. Before we get on to number 1, here are a few honourable mentions. Jacob Chambers' 3.56 clock world record average, a huge drop from Caleb Trelford's 3.81. The final solve of the average was also European record single, and the second fastest official clock solve ever. This record also confirmed that not flipping the puzzle during the solve is the new meta for clock. Leandro Martin Lopez's 29.27 Megaminx world record average, the first ever sub-30 average. This broke Juan Pablo's 3-year-long record and is also Argentina's first ever world record. Since then, Leandro has gotten 5 more sub-30 averages, proving that as of now, he's the best mega solver by a mile. Max Park tying the 3x3 world record average. When the first 4-second average was achieved by Tymon Kolasiński, everyone expected Max Park to catch up eventually, but not nearly as soon as he actually did. With some classic Max Park turning speed and look ahead, he gets a 4.86 average, earning his 4th 3x3 world record in his career. Number 1. The Tymon Kolasiński resolve. In all of cubing, there has been one barrier in recent times that the community wanted broken more than anything else: the sub-5 3x3 average. With Madi Hiroto Naba +2ing out of a 4.98 average, Tymon +2ing out of a 4.74 average, and Max Park also getting many counting 4s. It was only a matter of time before someone breaks the golden barrier. However, there's one person who most would consider by far the favourite to do first. That person is Tymon Kolasiński. With unbelievable efficiency and controlled turning and hundreds of algorithms in his back pocket, all he needed was a few good solves in a row. During the semi-finals in a competition in Warsaw, Poland, Tymon did this in his first solve. He gets a 4.02, which at the time was the 4th fastest 3x3 solve in cubing history. He has already done something sensational, but then he follows it up with a 4.68 and then a 5.33. He is officially on track for the sub-5 average. All he needs is a 4.97 or less in one of his next 2 solves. He's done it. The sub-5 barrier has been broken once and for all. He does his final solve in which he gets his worst time with the average, but it remains sub-5. But then, disaster struck when Tymon found out that the 4th solve of the average was misscrambled. Misscrambles are unfortunately a big problem in cubing, especially when it affects world records, and somehow it happens quite a lot. Luckily, the mistake was discovered very quickly, so Tymon was allowed to resolve on a brand new scramble. Yet again, he needs a 4.97 or less, but this time, he only has one chance. Also, everyone is watching him, so the pressure is unimaginable. Tymon Kolasiński finishes with an average of 4.86, with a solve that can probably be considered the greatest of all time. So those are my picks, with a little bit of help from my Discord server, of the top moments of 2022. Let me know what you think of the list. I'm also curious whether you guys think the Tymon moment was the best in cubing history. Also, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.